Sent their messages with others. One is Judy Lynne, and Judy's daughter Lucy is here with her little boy. Hello. And she's going to join us on stage here.
Hi. So Judy can't be here, but I can, and Judy's grandson over there. Many of you see pictures of him, possibly far more than you'd like. I know Judy is very sorry not to be here. She would really, really enjoy having this time with you and remembering Francis and hearing these stories. If somebody could just ensure that he doesn't leave the house, that would be great. So I'm going to read Judy's story about Francis, and then I have a few words of my own. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you all to celebrate Francis's big life. I first met Francis in 1978 at a party in Vancouver. Neither of us was living in Vancouver at the time, but I had returned to my Vancouver community to pack up my communal home on Quebec Street after my child custody battle required me to return to Ontario. Francis understood my struggle. When I finally returned to Vancouver in 1981, Francis, and many of you at her memorial today, was embroiled in organizing Women Against Violence Against Women, Waiver Right Crisis Center, an alternative to rape relief. I jumped in with both feet, and my ongoing bond with Francis was cemented. Francis became part of my extended lesbian family. When I went through a difficult breakup in the early 90s, Francis was the go-to person for my young daughter, Lucy, who was also hurting from the breakup and was unable to communicate with her angry mom. Interestingly, I don't remember this, but I love reading about this story from Judy's memory. I remember me, coming home after visiting Francis and telling me, with the strength imbued in her via Francis, that I have a relationship with Janet too, and your anger is your anger, not mine. Sounds so much like it. Yeah. It's not okay to undermine my relationship with her because you're hurting. I love that Lucy sought out my friends for support, and in this case, Francis. Over the years, Francis has always been there, an outspoken, larger-than-life oracle, sometimes hard to stand up to when we disagreed, and we occasionally did, but solidly there for her friends. I am proud to count myself as one of those friends. I'd like to share an excerpt from an email dialogue we had in April 2012 regarding Judith Arcana, American feminist poet and writer. Francis, I think this quote must be from her book, 1979, What If Your Mother? If we want girls to grow into free women, brave and strong, we must be those women ourselves. Francis. Judy, the full quote is, we must live as if our dreams had been realized. We cannot simply prepare other, younger daughters for strength, pride, courage, and beauty. It is worse than useless to tell young women and girls that we have done and been wrong, that we have chosen ill, that we hope they'll be more lucky. If we want girls to grow into free women, brave and strong, we must be those women ourselves. I will bring the framed quote that Janet gave me to the next Sappho Circle. On another note, this is still the email from Judy. On another note, and relevant to the Sappho Circle topic last night, a quote that came to me this afternoon. This quote, too, had a profound effect on me in the early 70s, so I suppose I can treat it like a piece of advice. The personal is political. Love, Judy. Francis embodied the personal as political and was herself a woman who inspired other women and girls to be free women, brave and strong, by being brave and strong herself and outspoken herself. My thanks to Marguerite and Francis for their annual end of summer parties, a bringing together of women and men, new and old, young and very young, old and very old. Marguerite, you and Francis were always there to weave webs of connection, community, and creativity. And that's the end of Judy's letter. I'm one of those younger daughters, spoken of in the quote Judy and Frances referenced. I was and am so fortunate to have had women such as my mom, Frances, and many of you here today as the women who came before, who showed me their lives of passion, strength, courage, and vulnerability, compassion, beauty, and love, what it means to be a brave and strong woman. And I am now showing and will show my son. Frances has been an inspiration to me as a community organizer, activist, and woman who gets shit done. I run a dance company that employs 12 people and produces social dancing events in Vancouver. I'm frequently told how special is what I do for people and what a wonderful, welcoming, fun, joyous community there is in large part due to my efforts. I'm also occasionally told that I'm intimidating. Larger than life, or just plain scary. I suspect, and I know, Frances was told these things too. I know I found her scary as a teenager. I met her through Judy, but also I worked on the gate community, or the gate committee at Folkfest, and knowing what a fuck up I was as a teenager, I hope that I was a good gate volunteer. I really don't I hope. She had no time for my shit as a teenager, that's for sure. There were times when she would call me out on things that Judy and Janet would not. And I remember going to Neil or my friends and saying, like, can you believe what she said? And then not long later, I would be like, yeah, that was fair. And I remember those occasions. As I imagine was the case for her, and I know from the stories you said today, I have little concern for the fact that some find me intimidating. I'm a woman who gets shit done. I bring compassion, love, joy, passion, and diligence to my company and my community. Some people may find that intimidating, but I don't let that dampen my enthusiasm. I'm grateful to Frances and women like her for being my inspiration as a younger daughter. I am, and we are, fortunate to have known her.